All right, example A. Introduction. The factored form of a polynomial equation provides an effective way to determine the values of x that make the equation equal 0. A polynomial is in factored form when it is expressed as the product of one or more polynomials. Zero product property. If A times B equals 0, then either A equals 0 or B equals 0. Example A, they've worked out for us, but let's take a look at these steps. Step 1, factor. Step 2, apply the zero product property. And step 3, solve each equation for x. Try these A. Solve each quadratic equation by factoring. So I want two numbers that when multiplied give me 14, and when I want negative 14, and when we add, we get negative 5. Now recall that this is a negative, so that means one number has to be positive while the other has to be negative. So since they're opposite signs, that means that we're actually going to be subtracting here. Well, we got 1 and 14 and 2 and 7. Well, 1 and 14 when subtracted is 13, so that's not equal. 2 and 7 equals 5, and in order for it to be a negative 5, the 7 would have to be negative. So we're going to have x minus 7 times x plus 2, and that equals 0. Now it says apply the zero product property. So we set each individual piece equal to 0. So x minus 7 equals 0, or x plus 2 equals 0. Step 3 says solve each equation for x. So here we add 7. This gives me x equals 7. And we're going to subtract 2 here. So this is going to be x equals negative 2. So our solutions to A is going to be x equals negative 2 or x equals positive 7. Let's take a look at B. Three x squared minus 6x equals 0. Well, we have a GCF here. That GCF is 3x. What times 3x gives me 3x squared? X. What times 3x gives me negative 6x? Negative 2. We're going to set this equal to 0. Now what we do is we apply our zero product property that says 3x equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. Solve each equation for x. Divide by 3. That gives me x equals 0. Add 2. That gives me x equals 2. So my answers for this one are x equals 0 or x equals 2. Let's take a look at C. The only way that you could do this is to have it set equal to 0. So the first thing I have to do is I have to rewrite my equation so that the equation is equal to 0. So we subtract 18 from both sides of the equation. So I want multiply to give me negative 18, add to give me positive 3. Well, remember I'm looking for a negative, so we're actually going to be multiplying a positive and a negative. So this means I'm actually going to be subtracting, because they're going to be opposite signs. Factors of 18 are 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. When I subtract these, this gives me 17. That doesn't work. When I subtract these, this gives me 7. That doesn't work. When I subtract these, I will get 3, but that means that my 3 has to be the negative in order to keep the answer positive. So we're going to have x minus 3, x plus 6, and this is equal to 0. So we apply our zero product property. X minus 3 equals 0, or x plus 6 equals 0. Add 3, because now we're solving for x. Subtract 6. So we would write this as x equals negative 6, or x equals positive 3. There is going to be a debriefing question to follow. Please get this written down and answer your debriefing question. Good luck.